Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another recap of Diarra from Detroit. Series 1, Episode 2, The Russian. So it does a backtrack of when Diarra and Moni went to Chris's place and she finds the Russian. Come to find out, they show how he got put there in the first place. So the symbol that she found on that dog tag was like kind of like in that dominatrix field, like kinky sex and stuff like that. So it shows like the dominant person put him there and tied him up into the closet. But to my understanding, it shows when the fat guy climbed in through the window and he basically said, "Who are you? And what are you doing in this place naked?" Like, and then them two started to go into a struggle. And next thing you know, the black guy, he knocked him out so hard because they were both trying to get to the gun and end up into the kitchen and stuff like that. So the black guy tied him up with a black rope, and then he's sitting in he's on the phone. He's talking to somebody. Yeah, I got him tied up or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's cool. And then next you know, this is when you hear Diarra at the door saying, "Chris, who's there?" And the door opens. So the guy ends up going back out the window. And I don't know how he tied him up with a rope, but at the same time, oh, it makes sense. Yeah, he tied him up with the rope, but then put tape over his mouth so he could be quiet. So he's naked. And he put him in the closet, so he left. And that's when it shows that. So that's all Diarra could think about. So she's at school talking to the people, but talking to T about it. She went to work. Went to Oz's job talking about it. It's just like, girl, like she can't get Chris off her mind at all. And now everybody's trying to think like, maybe she ain't lying about this. So she gets to school. I guess her student what's her name was, whatever her name is, start with a W. Frederica or something like that. And her mother was supposed to show up, but her mama didn't show up. She was like, well, whatever you need, call me. I got you, day or night, whatever. So she was like, cool. They did the little handshake. And she went on about her stuff like that. So they were still trying to figure out what was the symbol about. So she ended up running into Porter, which is another history teacher. He was trying to tell her. He ended up slapping her behind. And she was like, what the heck was that for? He was like, yeah, I heard you going through a divorce. Like, everybody wants to at this point. And she was like, no, cool. Not cool, bro. Not cool. He was like, sorry. And went on about that. So she started Googling it and figuring it out. So with the help of T, they was able to track down the place. And they got into this whole dominatrix field. She ended up finding the guy that she was looking for, the Russian, tied up there doing the dominatrix stuff with the stuff in his mouth. And they started having a good time talking while T was getting hit on by the DJ. He did some little weird magic trick. It had a condom come up from behind his ear. Was like, whatever your name wanted, whatever you want my name to be, like they about to get it on. So meanwhile, Diarra's having a oh, I skipped the whole part. My bad. Aja, while Diarra was still at school, Swag came to see her and he handed her a stack of bills or whatever. He said, you might need to hire a lawyer, because he was asking if she got the divorce papers. And also, when she went back to Chris's place, she ended up finding his shoe in the snow. She picked it up and then she took everything with her to the police station. So the police didn't even believe her. She was like, yeah, I have a feeling that the missing person is the guy that I had sex with the night before, Deontay Brooks from 1990. He was like, so you found the remains? He was like, no, all of him remains. So basically, he wasn't writing down what she had. And then she started going crazy. He wasn't trying to believe her. So at the same point, he grabbed her out of the office. Just so happens to be Sue's brother works at the police station too. So of course she relayed everything to the brother, and then the brother showed up at the school, handing her bills, saying she needed to hire a lawyer. She ain't thinking about that. She's still trying to find her almost boyfriend / missing child from the 90s person. Like, she ain't thinking about this divorce thing, whatever. So yeah, fast forward. Aja ended up throwing her divorce party while she's there. Aja's women's group helping help her to like unwind and get through everything and start telling their story. Moni sees all the cars parked on both sides of the street, so she comes in, and one of the girls was like, we got a slight problem. And then, eventually Diarra invites Moni to the party. She got her some Hennessy, some chips or whatever. So they all start telling their stories about their husbands or whatever. Moni said her husband is faithful or whatever, but at the same time he has a secret, but whenever he's ready to tell me, he'll tell me. Everybody just started laughing like, yeah, right, that ain't gonna never happen. So after the whole party was over, Moni goes to the chop shop where he works, and she brings him some food. And he was like, she sees the boys. I guess she doesn't know them from the neighborhood. She was like, yeah, so he was like, I'm good or whatever. So by this time he gets home, she's in her car smoking a blunt or whatever. And then he gets in and was like, what's the problem? Like, how much are we deep in with the Woodward boys? And he was like, 50 grand. And he was like, he gonna figure it out. Like, that's a lot. Like, girl, I wonder how much that bracelet was for. Like, you should have took it off and gave it right back to him. But anyways, after that, fast forward, Diarra's chopping it up with the Russian. They popping Molly's, having a good old time. She's dancing with T, aka Reggie, and the DJ, and just like she sees him on the phone, whatever, talking. He looks over at her, and she just looks, and then she just starts dancing as like to play it off. So she don't know whether he's telling a lie or whatever. So now they start playing two truths and a lie. He starts telling her all the truths and figure out the lie. As she figures out the lie, then she thinking like, voiceover like, oh, is this a game of cat and mouse, or is this really the truth and what's the lie, whatever. So she starts telling her truths and lies or whatever, and he was like, da 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 da. Then after that, they just started, leaving the club, dancing to each other, touching themselves or whatever, and we're gonna figure out what's gonna happen next, because it seemed like they're about to get down to the bottom of it, but who knows. Oh my God, I forgot one part. So after, they were dancing and whatnot, Diarra went back to dancing by herself, and she kept like having like this deep thought, come to realization. She realized that the Russian was full of it, and he was basically telling her what she wanted to hear. So she went up to him to confront him, and next thing you know, he pulls out a gun to her and was like, where the F is Deontay, and who are you working for? Next thing you know, she thought she was getting shot at. Somebody shot him from the back, and all you see is people running out of the club, and some guy with like a bedazzled hoodie on starts running, and she starts leaving the club, and T and the DJ guy is there to hug her and embrace her, and end up getting in the car. While they're in the car driving, the DJ guy starts getting on live talking about they start shooting at the underground, ain't nobody safe, and then T tell him to get off live, and he asks Diarra, is she okay? Then they do a recap of what really happened in 1995. So basically, Deontay was at the mall with his mom, Vontae, and they was like shopping around and whatever. So each time he got a little bit of distance from her, she was calling for him like, Deontay, get back over here, go where I can see you. So they end up stopping at like this little, what do you call it, like food station where they can try snacks and stuff to see if you will actually buy the real thing. She took one. She was like, nah, put that back and got another one. And the guy, the little worker was looking at her. She was like, don't you judge me. She was like, Deontay, get over here and help me. So she put whatever she had in his book bag and closed it up. And then next thing you know, they went to a store. Then 20 minutes later, you see her sitting down eating snacks or whatever. So it's like it took her 20 minutes to actually notice her son was missing. And then she goes on the news that night, and she said, we miss him, I love you, like anybody who took him, please bring him back and stuff like that. So yeah, so I think this was all that happened in this episode. Y'all stay tuned because I got y'all for the next one. So with that being said, bye.